Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Titans of Allestria, a 5th edition actual play podcast for gamers of all ages. I'm your host and Dungeon Master Joshua. Joining me around the table, we have
Joan,
Dolphin,
Winnie,
Relnor.
Hello, everyone.
Hello,
Welcome back. To recap, we have gone on the Airship Harris. We are on our way to Allestria in one of the many trips that this airship has taken between Lestrade and the Broken Lands. This is Winnie's ship. You guys have a bunch of guests that have joined. Donnie's aboard somewhere. You've got the Celestial that you've met.
I was going to say, most importantly.
Yeah, when we left off, you guys were having dinner with everyone. We'll kind of pretend this is maybe like a day later or, the next day.
What's the Celestial's name again? Woodrow Wilson?
Roderick. Roderick. It's just Roderick.
Roderick.
But when he says it
Woodrow.
in common, it's...
Yeah.
Roderick.
Roderick
Woodrow. Yeah.
Okay.
Roderick Woodrow.
So, excellent name. And so you got him, Archibald. Who else?
You don't have to list the whole manifest.
Yeah,
it's okay,
we
hon.
can jump in dinner.
I'm just recapping. So.
we have
We can jump past dinner if...
I thought
we
dinner
have
was important. Okay. No,
Joan,
it's just to meet the
Dolphin,
Celestial.
Relnor, Brother Archibald, Farmers, Partoon, Klaus Tinkertool, Stephen, Wood, the Ambassador, Wadwick Woodwoe, Billy, and Lackhand, and
Hawk.
Tubi, and who?
Archie?
Bertuo.
I said that.
Oh.
Who? Just kidding. Bertuo.
I was waiting to see if you'd say it on
and
your
Archie
own.
the Bird.
And that's when he kind of says, Captain, we need to talk. I'm going to be leaving the ship.
I'm not appreciated for who I am.
Nah, I mean, is he just telling me this now, or have we sort of talked about it
You've
a bunch of
talked
times?
about it. Ever since you met with Grafar.
Oh, he's actually leaving.
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh.
he is.
Okay.
Not right now. He's not like
okay.
bailing out.
But
or
you guys are
anything.
stopping by Allestria to get some things, and you guys want to investigate Bordu's demise.
And we're going to Allestria to do that. Why?
That's
again?
where he was killed.
Oh, okay, cool. The scene of the alleged crime.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll say you guys had an excellent dinner. It was nice, chit-chat, very interesting. The Celestial didn't have much to say. He had a lot of questions, really, but
So he came aboard the ship. Why?
he's trades negotiating.
Oh, okay.
I imagine him and
for
Joan
these
just
people.
sung most of the dinner.
Yeah.
Or they.
So yeah, I would say if you have any questions about his intentions or what he's like all about, you can roll.
What are you looking to trade for?
We are interested in any kind of economic opportunities.
What kind of goods do your people provide?
Primarily rare ores and minerals of the golden variety.
Oh,
That tracks.
I don't understand what they said.
We are resplendent with gold.
they have a lot
I
of
still don't
gold.
understand what he said.
They have a lot of gold.
I just nod and go, oh,
Yeah.
yes,
I have never seen before the small Quatos. And he kind of gestures to you. But it would seem that your captain is one as well.
A different small creature.
Yes. Would you guys like to educate him about you?
Nope.
And he just kind of looks at you with like
They're
his like
called-
non-moving eyes.
One of them's called a halfling.
A halfwing.
Yes.
And I'm a gnome. We
A
tend to
gnome.
be close to rocks, underground. We like to tinker. We have good night vision.
Are you familiar with the boulder people?
Did you say the Boulder people?
Yeah.
The Boulder people.
Oh,
The people made of boulders.
There are people made of boulders?
No, we'll have to talk
Is this
about
new?
them some other
The
time.
Rotund. You actually met them in a game in like our original version of your adventure that we got rid of.
I did?
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember this.
It's not part of like the canon. It's,
Yeah.
But
It was the first recording of
Yeah.
the 6 years after.
yeah, the
Yep.
Boulder people. They are known as the Rotund.
Is that an insult?
No,
What do they do?
make rock things. They're not great trade partners.
They're called the Rotund. They make rock things, and they're not great trade
Wait,
partners.
Whoa, that's a shame.
Rosehead.
Oh, that's terrible.
Rosehead?
Huh?
Rosehead?
What, whoa?
What?
What?
What, whoa, Waggy?
Somebody cut him off. Cut him off.
So yeah, dinner goes by just fine. If you have any questions about this person, you could roll.
After dinner, could I stealthily try to follow them to their quarters?
Sure. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. All right. So
Sneaky.
dinner goes by just fine. Nice chit chat. Everybody kind of eats.
Does he seem to like me?
He loves you. He loves that you
Excellent.
speak his language. So
Cool.
if anything, he'll kind of talk to you. I guess the two of you could probably like walk out together, chit chatting. Dolphin, go ahead and roll me a stealth check.
23.
All right, Joan. Unless you're keeping an eye out for someone, we'll go with your passive. And so neither you or Rudro notices Dolphin. So Dolphin, you follow them. Joan, are you guys gonna go to like the upper floors? Or you kind of just walking him back to his room?
I'm just walking him back to his room.
Okay, so.
Right.
So, tell me, are you involved in trade?
No.
Forgive me, I forgot I could speak in the language of my people.
No, I'm not involved in trade.
And what is it that you do, might I ask?
I read a lot of books and I save people.
That doesn't sound very financially...
It's
Good.
not, but I made friends with someone who invented deep plates and he pays for everything.
Who is this individual of great wealth?
Relnor, the quiet
Relnor.
human. You should talk to him about opening a location in
So,
your kingdom.
Dalvin, you just hear the sing-song.
I don't know what they're saying. Honestly.
He does say Relnor in the common tongue.
Yeah.
Kind of like, oh, interesting. So he notes that. And yeah, you guys keep walking. You find his room, the ambassador suite. He kind of bows, says,
I bow.
It was wonderful meeting you. Thank you for the conversation.
Of course, I say, just in common.
Good night.
Good night. I turn around and walk
Yep.
back.
Is there any at all practical way for me to sneak into his room? If I were to like spend a key to do the step of the wind,
Roll me a stealth. Honestly,
would that be stealth or acrobatics?
stealth, 100% stealth.
Okay.
Yes,
Oh no.
hello, I would like to sneak into the man with the razor sharp teeth's room without him knowing. Thank you.
21.
21.
Yeah.
Wait,
All right. Roll me a perception check with disadvantage.
So that's a 10. Not great. And a 10. Wow. Okay.
You have your choice.
I'm gonna go with the
10 or 10.
All right. As you kind of make your way to sneak into the ambassador's rooms, roll me a dexterity saving throw.
Okay. Oh, I critical fail.
Okay. Then you lose your reaction as well.
No.
And you're gonna get hit with this dagger, brother.
oh my
Oh,
goodness.
no.
Yeah, someone got rid of Lucky.
I did get rid of Lucky. I respect to be more true to my character.
Oh no.
So yeah, you get a dagger in the thigh as
Okay.
you're trying to sneak your way in.
Ah, the Relnor
And the
special.
door
Yeah, the
shuts.
Real North special.
The
that
door,
was an arrow.
the door shuts right in front of you, stops you before you're able to enter.
Where'd the dagger come from? Inside the room?
No, there's a figure in the hallway that's been in the shadows.
Following me?
Yeah, you hear a voice
How much
say,
damage do I take, by the way?
You take 7 piercing damage, and you
Okay.
are poisoned.
Sheesh.
I'm actually immune to poison.
Good.
But they don't know that. I'm going to take the hit, obviously. I am then going to pretend to try and run away like a few steps and then fall.
So, no one's pursuing. The figure's standing in the hallway.
Okay.
I know, I'm going to just lay flat
Okay.
on the ground. I'm going to act like the poison is affecting me.
Okay. You hear a voice come from the figure. It says, we run a private ship here, but
Is that wound or what his name is?
Yes, you're wounded.
Oh, and then
I don't think the captain would appreciate you trying to sneak into the ambassador's rooms.
I turn around and I go, wound?
Yes.
That was a great throw.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to any harm. I just was curious about this celestial character. He seemed kind of interesting to me. I wanted to learn a little more about him.
You can learn by asking questions.
I can't. Not this guy. I don't understand what he's saying.
What do you think you're gonna learn by entering his room?
A lot of people do stuff in their room I can learn about.
Listen, I'm in charge of security for this entire ship. The captain trusts me to make sure that the passengers are protected and kept safe.
Say no more. Fair enough. My apologies. I hand him the dagger I pulled out of my leg. Give him the dagger back, and I go, I will cease to do that in the future. And I limp off.
he kind of just fades into the shadow.
Dude, he's cool.
He's very cool.
I get a ton of respect for Wound right there.
He's like older than 80 years old. He's ancient.
What is he? Is he a gnome?
He's a human, he's a human from Lestrade. So
A human assassin, I assume.
He was a bloodbreaker, so the blood bond gave them like long life and some special advantages, although it subjugated them. So
very cool.
So,
Delphin's a little embarrassed that he was caught. A little bummed they didn't learn anything about the Celestial, but super impressed with Wound.
This is an NPC whose like level would rival your guys' in terms of experience and capability.
Wow.
I like him. Okay. I'm gonna go.
Glad I'm his friend.
I'm gonna go bandage myself and maybe take a nap.
Honestly, the fact you rolled a 1 was the only way that would turn out that way.
Yeah.
Like, you would have been able to catch it. Like you rolled a 2, you probably would have caught it.
Yeah.
So anyway.
Well, I would have deflected it regardless.
Yes.
Probably, but yeah.
So that was incredible.
May I go find Relnor?
Yeah, Relnor, what are you doing after dinner?
I mean, nothing?
Man,
tracks.
life after the military is real.
He's a retiree.
Fighting monsters and then
I'm
doing nothing.
I'm retired. I'm gonna curl up and read a book.
He has to save his energy for the next explosion he has to
he's
walk away
gonna
from.
read, Joan.
No, you didn't ask me what I was gonna do in the morning. That's a different question.
Well, Joan's looking for you now, so
Yeah.
she's gonna. I guess you're going to your room then.
Yeah.
So yeah, you'd
I'll go to
be in
his
his
quarters.
room. Yeah.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
It's me, Joan.
Come in.
Hey, just to put a bug in your ear, might have gotten you a business prospect. The Celestial asked me if I traded, and I said no, because I don't. I mean, in knowledge, I guess, but I forgot about that in the time. And
All
so
relevant
then he
information.
asked how I could afford anything. And I said, I have a really rich friend who invented deep plates, and he's very interested in you now. So if you need a translator, because you can't understand what he's saying, totally understandable, just hit me up. Happy to help facilitate this deal. You might want a franchise option. Just put that on your radar.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Probably won't need a translator unless he has a hard time with R's or something silly like that. But
Yeah. So what you doing?
Reading?
What are you reading?
I know this is in character, but this is uncannily like real life.
You hear some stomping down the hallway. Did you enter and shut the door?
No, I didn't shut the door.
Yeah. So you hear some
I'm
stomping
standing in the doorway.
and you hear kind of a. I love to eat and I love to drink and I go and I'm on my feet.
Hey, Partoon.
Hello, Joan and Relnor, 2 of my favorite people.
It's good to see you, man.
He kind of like ducks his head down and comes into the door. He says,
Party in Relnor's quarters.
"Don't mind if I do." And he sits down on the chair that's in there and then immediately breaks it with his weight. That's the second.
Is he back
This
to
is
being
the
a little
second
more,
chair of
a little
Relnor.
more? Is he back to being a little more round from his last death?
Oh yes.
Okay.
Being in the city, he has been partaking of all of the.
He's been indulging himself.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, he's nowhere near where he was when first we met.
Yes. Yeah.
On this podcast, but yeah, he is definitely got some pooch brewing in the gut area.
As Diana would ask, is it baby?
Food baby. He says, Joan, do you have your orb on you?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what it is. I keep sensing it all over the ship.
Well, I'm trying to bond to it.
Is it? We haven't encountered another immortal.
Well, have we?
Not that I'm aware of.
Oh, huh. Well, I do move around the ship a lot, so it's probably just me. Relnor, are you reading your book about the wardens?
Book of the Wardens.
And I go, okay, have a good night. See you later. Bye.
Well done, Joan.
Oh.
Says, how are you, my fine warden friend?
Good.
Have you been to the waters?
Not for a little while, but yes, in the past.
How are things?
Quieter.
Quieter.
Yeah.
Well, I understand that. Men of action. The world is not at war.
I don't know. What are we? Aren't we?
Tell me about this book you've acquired.
I walk over and grab it off the bookshelf because I've already read it a couple of times.
Oh, that
and
wasn't the book you were reading?
Nope, I'll hand that to him.
What have you gleaned about our kin?
Joshua's a dillweed.
Why?
No, that's what you wrote.
Joshua.
Joshua. Joshua
That's amazing.
is a dillweed.
Really?
Yeah.
I remember now.
I kind of figured that
That's
was going
all
to be the trigger.
no.
Jimmy wrote this book.
That explains
Yeah.
it. That explains
And it's
it.
not about the origins of the wardens. It's about Jimmy's encounter with a warden.
Yes.
Through building a relationship with somebody. That Joshua kind of screwed up. You learn a lot about Jimmy in that book. As much as Jimmy could learn about the wardens and their relationship with the immortals, which is kind of it actually has some answers as to why Partoon wasn't really welcome at the Warden Waters. When you learn kind of that the two groups are somewhat at odds.
Estranged a bit.
One of the books you guys have explores all the different founts of elder magic that the immortals have been trying to eliminate, because kind of their whole goal is to get rid of elder magic.
Is that the one you were going to write for Ricky and never did?
No, I
No,
think
that's the one I wrote
Aaron's.
for Aaron.
Yeah.
In that, I think they do mention the Warden Waters as something they tried to eliminate. And so Joshua actually gave a good effort at trying to get rid of the Warden Waters and encountered some real challenges doing that, because
Which is why he's earned the name that Jim
Yeah.
gave him.
and it's put Partoon in a weird place because he is both.
Makes sense.
He's not fully aware of all of that history because he's been outside of Altera.
That makes sense.
So this book you have acquired, what does it tell you about the Wardens?
Well, it explains a bit about their rest, the Warden's rest,
Yes, the nature
and how that works.
rejuvenation.
And it details Jimmy's relationship with a warden named Book.
Jimmy. Yes, I know Jimmy. Book, you say?
Yes.
Touches my memory, but it has been a very long time. The name. They were enemies, warriors. They fought?
No, they were learning from each other until Joshua killed Book and ignited a war between.
So the tone at which our turtle friend addressed me. This would explain much. It would seem that I am between factions.
Yes. Wait, is he an immortal?
He's got giant orb.
But then he can't go to the rest.
He can go to the rest, but
Can't
he
go.
He wasn't welcome when he showed up the last time. Jimmy did go. In fact, that's where Jimmy died, if any of you remember. He gave
That's right. He was an immortal.
He gave you his
Oh,
orb.
okay, that's right. They can go, but the waters aren't.
They don't.
They don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His relationship with Book is also why he was there when he died, but I haven't explained at all what happened to Jimmy.
If you'd like to take the book and read it, feel free.
It would be truly.
Sign this little card.
Where
here.
did you find such a treasure?
Did you just invite a library?
Where,
Maybe.
where did you find such a
Wouldn't
treasure?
be my first marvelous invention. You know, I don't recall exactly where I acquired this. Probably from Joan. I'd ask her.
There was a wonderful library in Lestrade. I did not have time to peruse all of the books because of your fine confectionaries. So, you're all right with me borrowing this?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. I'm fascinated to see what happened between the Wardens and the Immortals while you were all trapped within Altera. Thank you, and
Yeah.
I'm sorry for the chair.
It's okay.
He's really interested in reading this book, so he's gonna take off. And we're gonna kind of enter nighttime on the ship. So, Winnie, you're probably doing one of your last rounds, making sure that everything's good, checking in with your kind of key officers on the ship before calling it. You're one of the last people to go to sleep. Everybody's kind of in their own space, getting acclimated. It's kind of like a nice moment on the ship. Joan, you are in a deep sleep.
Thank you. I needed one.
And you start to hear the sounds of distant battle and the memory of the Battle of Soul
Okay.
is kind of raging in the background of your mind as you drift into unconsciousness. You hear the echo of a distant memory, inky blackness giving way to door after door, and corridor after corridor rushes past you in a blur of light, sensation, and sound, a disembodied voice. You remember seeing images of your past family, the sisters, and then you're in ancient ruins and you hear the voice of Artemis. Choose, Joan. You have to Watch him like a hawk. And then you're in Harris's office. The lad's got his father's skill and his mother's instinct. I want to trust him, and I'm too close. I need you to release me at once. And all of a sudden you're in the Emerald Grove where you found King Nature in his kind of trapped cage. And he says, I congratulate you on discovering my grave, but you shall find no power here, none greater than what lies atop the mountain. And you're going on a snowy, weathery path with Ro and Oberon in his old man form. It's only a few days' journey. Ro knows. Ro can show you the ways of everlasting life. And you're now in the presence of Oberon in his giant form with the orb embedded in his chest. The ways of everlasting life. You need only give yourself over to the orb. Then you must die, you wretched fools! And you see the visage of Terra Sol in his titanic, draconic form as he's battling with the other golems atop the walls of Allestria.
Dun, dun, dun.
The sounds of battle encircle you as you come back to yourself. Terra Sol, having taken the form of a draconic titan, roars from atop the castle walls. One of Artemis's shields has been shattered, and your hand has become trapped between two massive stones from within the golem. And you hear Artemis's voice again. So you're still in the dream, but you're now kind of coming to yourself. And he says, hang on, Joan. We have enough energy reserves for one last charge. So you kind of just internally give him the go, like give everything. We have to stop this.
Yep.
And the last thing you can remember from the battle was this final massive charge in the deafening roar of stone hitting stone as you impact the wall where Terra Sol is perched. Then you're back on the Gnomish Island, and it's quiet. You're in the Hall of Inventors from your guys' very first journey. Except the hall is empty, and there's but the plinth at the center where people display their work. And you recall Truffle Bundle reminding you that there was something necromantic that initiated the opening of the ancient catacombs. And atop the plinth is a small withered form. I should say small in the sense of size, but it's lengthy. The size of a full-grown elf, I should say, with long flowing white hair kind of just like draping down its body in a withered form in rags. It turns and it's the face of Artemis, looking at you with black, dead eyes. He says, with a voice that's almost not his own, the sateless vessel wants for more, never resting. Her hunger grows. And you can feel yourself almost like being drawn in to those eyes. Binding, bloodless, scraping, clawing, reckless, breathless, eyes of white. And your vision starts to blur. The end of the end of the end of the end. Joan, you have to choose! And you wake up in a cold sweat. What do?
What time is it?
I'd say you got kind of like a little like porthole you can look out, and it's still dark, still night. The moon is kind of like you're above some clouds and you can see the moon. What would you call it, like a waxing moon? And I would think just from where you're at, you can tell it's probably like 2 in the morning, 2 or 3 in the morning.
Okay. I'm going to get up and see if I find anybody awake.
Okay, so you kind of walk around.
I can't go back to bed after that.
In the living quarters, there's kind of nothing happening. It's really quiet. You can kind of make your way. Would you prefer to go to the main deck of the ship, like in the open air, or you want to like go to like the lounge? Okay.
Regulate my body temperature.
All right. You pass maybe like a couple like crew hands that are still manning
but
the
not
ship.
really people I know.
And there's maybe like some sounds that you're unfamiliar with of like cogs whirring and steam pumping. So when you get up to that open air area, looking around, it's pretty quiet. You see a hooded figure kind of like standing kind of next to where the captain would typically stand. It's Woon.
Yeah, I figured.
He's just kind of looking around. He eyes you but doesn't say anything.
I nod.
He nods, and that's it. That's all he'll do.
Okay. I'm going to go stand by him. Not where the captain stands, on the other side of him.
Okay. He doesn't say anything. He just kind of, he looks at you, but you can tell he's always ready to fight. He seems like he's always like waiting for someone to attack.
I say, constant vigilance.
That is all that I know.
You're good at it.
Yes, I am.
Do you ever sleep?
Occasionally.
Do you have dreams when you sleep?
No. Nightmares.
Well, I think I just had one too.
What do you do with your nightmares?
I usually tell my friends about them, but they're all sleeping.
That little one is trouble.
The little one you protect or the other little one?
No, the captain is wondrous.
Okay. I was just making sure we're on the same page.
Wondrous.
Yes.
No one would speak of her as little
When you
on this ship.
say Dalphin's trouble, do you mean that in like a malicious way? Or just like he's a prankster?
He is skilled and witless.
That's about right.
Well, we have addressed his lack of reading.
Just because one can open a door does not mean that one should.
Is that a metaphor?
I said that without thinking about the fact that you've been going to a bunch of ancient temples and opening doors. I didn't think about that, but that is probably the most happy.
Is that a metaphor or?
It is the truth.
Well, yeah, but like, is he opening doors he shouldn't be opening?
I don't know. He simply strikes me as the kind of person that would. He tried, your friend, tried to sneak into the ambassador's chambers.
Curiosity gets the best of him, and he doesn't always handle it appropriately.
Well,
I mean, I also...
He allowed me to stab him.
Well, but at least he allowed you to stab him. Although I think even if he didn't want to allow you, you would still be able to stab him.
I don't like the three of you being on this ship because I know that you are powerful, and I do not wish to ever have to challenge you.
Well, hopefully, you and I will not go up against each other, because if we're being quite honest, Wound, I'm a little afraid of you.
So long as your intent is not to harm the captain.
No. I would agree that the captain is wondrous. That's the best word you could use to describe her.
Oh, gosh.
Roll me a perception check. Roll me a survival check.
9. Yeah.
Okay, you don't perceive anything.
Classic. Well, I'm a little sleepy.
Yeah.
9.
9? Okay.
Oh, no!
Yeah, Bartoon critically failed. Survival is specifically about like nature and being able to like discern like if a plant is healthy or if it's not. And I kind of used it with the wardens in the sense of like if something is unnatural as a way to kind of like keen your
Sixth
senses.
sense
Yeah,
kind of
like the
thing.
way like a rabbit will freeze just because it like knows something's looking at it, like a hawk or whatever. So, but you failed at that, which makes sense. You're kind of still new to the
And to sleep.
warden aspects of your life. And yeah, Partoon apparently has overindulged.
He's a little...
He probably won't even wake up for whatever's about to just happen. So Wound seems to tense. He walks over to where the intercom system is and he knocks on it. And he says, Tubi. Yes, you have Tubi. What may I do? Alert the ship, we are under attack. And you just start to hear sirens going off, like off of all the different intercom systems. And so anybody who wasn't awake is definitely awake. And Joan, like almost at the exact same moment, you hear a deafening roar.
Oh.
And the visage of the red god, Kamasol,
The dragon version?
undead, bursts through the clouds.
Wait, what?
And
We already killed this dude!
this would be considered in the D&D world a red Dracolich. Bursts through the clouds and then slams into the ship. And I need everybody to roll initiative.
Oh no! What is happening? Oh, that's so bad.
7.
22.
2, Dalphin got a 7, but probably will go before Joan.
How'd you know I got a 7?
Wonders when you got 20.
He heard you.
Winnie got 20.
Yeah.
Wondrous Winnie, I love that.
No, I don't want to fight a dragon without a titan.
Okay.
Excuse you, it's a Dracolich?
I guess it's
Dracolich?
Oh,
What'd you just say?
and I meant golem, not a titan.
Dracoli?
Dracolich.
Undead.
Oh, I'm sorry. How do you say chivalrous?
Chivalric.
Wait,
Chivalric.
Dracolich?
Dracolich.
Dracolich.
If that's not the name
Like
of
a
your
dragon,
next piece
dragon,
NPC,
a Drake
Chivalric.
Lich.
Dracolich.
Yeah.
Oh,
Dracolich.
Lich.
Yes.
Oh, lich.
a Draco Lich.
I
Yes.
spelled it Dracolage.
You know what? For the sake of Altera, that's what they call it here.
Yeah.
You know, we're not in Faerun.
Dracolage?
I was trying to make it
Dracolich.
Dracolage.
like
Dracolage.
dressage.
Yeah.
Dracolage.
It's like a collage of undead draconic things. So
Yeah.
it's a Dracolage. Which you don't realize how apt is for this encounter.
Uh-oh.
No.
I'm going to say, Relnor, like the side of the ship that the dragon hits is your side of the ship. So your bunk, all of a sudden, you hear a thunderous crash and some wood chips and pieces fly off onto your bed. And you can see something has blocked out the little porthole that you've got. what do you do?
Does the porthole open?
Yeah.
Well, I'd like to shoot whatever it is.
Okay, yeah, you just basically see like scaly underbelly with like, you can smell the rot and see some flesh and bone. It's not up against the window, but there's like, it's basically like holding onto the ship. And so, yeah, I'd say like the body is 50 feet away from it.
So I'll do my new hand crossbow.
Where was it? Did you keep it under your pillow? Like, what's the...
Probably on the nightstand.
Okay,
Like,
okay. Yeah, you whip it off the nightstand. Without missing a beat, you just sit up and shoot out the window.
That's awesome. I love that reaction.
Yeah.
So it'll be 3 attacks.
Okay.
12, 25, and 10.
Relnor, go ahead and roll the 2 that you missed with advantage, just because it's in such a primo spot. It's like right there.
And because you already
It'd be
shot him,
hard
you
to
need
make it hard to miss.
So that would be 19
Okay, that is a hit.
and 15.
That is not a hit. So 2 of your
So
attacks.
the first 2 hit 19 and 18.
Okay. So the first 2 attacks hit, then the last one passes through like an opening in the cavity of the undead flesh.
I mean, I'm not fully awake yet, so.
And do you move? I would say your movement would be half, just because getting up out of bed would unprone you.
Yes, I will. I probably am gonna get my armor. I'm gonna have to
gear
get
up.
dressed.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, you use the rest of your movement to get dressed.
Yep.
And we'll say you can like open the door, but that's where we'll stop
Okay.
there. And Winnie.
All right.
You hear it all, and you hear the sirens going off, and Tubi is present in the room with you, going like, Captain.
Tubi, what's going on?
There's a big lizard thing with wings.
What? Okay, so I pull on my robe and everything.
Ow. It's scratching me.
Hang on, Tubi. And I assume there's some stairs or something. I'm gonna run out
You are,
onto the deck.
we'll say like your cabin is more like on top of the ship.
Okay,
than
so I'm just gonna
underneath it.
run out.
When
through
you
the
go
door.
out your door to your, you have like a living space with a dining room.
Yeah.
And then your bedroom is attached to that.
Cool.
So you go out your bedroom into your kind of the captain's quarters, and then right out that door is the upper deck.
Okay, cool. So I'm gonna run out on deck. I guess what does she do?
Yeah.
Can I take stock of the situation super fast?
Yes.
Okay.
It's pretty easy. You get out there, and basically clinging on to the left side of the ship is a massive draconic creature.
Yikes.
There's like pieces of it that seem to resemble what you remember of Kamasol.
Sure.
But this is like Titanic version. So like it's massive and it's dripping onto the ship.
It's got like necrotic tissue all over the place.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Roll me a perception check.
That is a 22.
Okay. You notice as you're looking at it that there are things moving atop it. So it's massive. It's not as big as your ship, but it's almost. But crawling off of its back are several undead humanoid figures that are now boarding the ship.
Okay.
And Wound is rushing at them and already throwing stuff.
Okay, cool. Do I still get an action
Go for it.
after the perception? Okay, cool.
It was a really good perception.
Now that gives me a really good idea of what I can use without hurting other people on the ship. So, since he's pretty high up, I'm gonna cast Lightning Bolt. So I'm gonna aim right at the top of him, like where I'm most likely to hit other humanoid. Like if there's any humanoids still on his shoulders or back or whatever,
Okay.
I want to try and hit multiple things. Like anything inside that like 5 feet wide line gets
Okay.
hit.
Do they roll for like is it a,
Yeah,
save?
dexterity saving throw.
no way they made it, but yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Creature takes 8d6 lightning damage on a failed save, or half as much damage on a successful one.
Okay, it's a fail.
Okay.
These guys do not have good decks.
Okay, I have a modifier that I want to use too. It's called Empowered Evocation. Sorry, not a modifier, a feat. Can add your intelligence modifier to 1 damage roll of any evocation spell. So that's
Nice.
another 4. So just in case somebody playing at home goes, yeah, that doesn't seem right. Okay, 6, 9, 10, 14, 15.
You add it to every dice?
No.
Oh.
She was just counting.
You're just counting up. I got you.
34.
Wow.
34 damage.
That is legit.
Nice.
34. Amazing. Yeah.
Woo.
So help me understand like how it chains. So it hits one thing.
Okay,
and
so
then,
it doesn't chain as far as I can tell from the description.
Okay.
It's literally like a beam of lightning magic. So it's 5 feet in diameter and it's 100 feet wide.
Oh, okay. So basically,
It's a lightning laser.
From your position, you're able to kind of almost shoot downwards at the draconic creature.
Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to not hit the ship because it does light things on fire.
No, you're like, so the way it is, there's your cabin, there's like a little like platform where you can stand.
Oh, right.
And then there's some stairs down onto the deck.
Oh, so I have the high ground.
You do. And so basically, like, for anybody who's on the Joan, you see this actively happen. A lightning bolt, as if it came from like the clouds overhead, just streaks across the ship, lighting everything like daylight, and blasts into the draconic creature.
And I roar with it.
Just
I go, ah!
hits one of its shoulders, and one of its hand like falls off of the ship, and it just roars, and you see and then you see other creatures flying off of it and falling.
We dodged a few bullets.
It's like Sin from Final Fantasy X.
Yeah.
Now witness the power of this fully operational Winnebrett.
I was like, what is happening?
I'm afraid
in
she'll
Joan's
be quite
dream, all I could hear was,
operational
"You have
when
no
you're
power
dead."
here."
Somewhere, some evil necromantic mages.
Bring some
I
Lord of the
feel
Rings
the
in.
souls of 1,000 undead falling to the ground. All right, that brings us to the Dracolage.
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 The E's silent.
Dracolich makes sense now.
All right, the Dracolich is going to cast Frightful Presence. So anybody who can see it needs to make a DC 19 Wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom saving throw. Oh, that would be a natural 20.
Natural
for reals
20.
it is?
Okay,
Nice.
you are immune from being frightened.
I can spin some lore as to why that happened.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Go ahead.
because I'm a cleric, I have channel divinity, and I can turn undead.
Whoa.
Turn this dragon. Turn that dragon.
Oh.
Okay.
I
So
forgot
I'm
that
not
was a
frightened
thing.
by it.
Yeah,
I
you're
love
like,
that.
I got
I
an
love
idea.
that. Yeah, we'll let that last for a good
I'm
long
the-
while. That's a
I'm the dungeon master now. No?
Okay, you know what? Here, have some inspiration.
Even before
Love
you
that.
did it.
We're
Just
so
the
big.
plan. Just the plan.
Inspo.
Winnie, you mentioned what happens if I meet.
Yeah.
On
We
an
have a very
attack, if you meet, you
gracious DM.
succeed, and so on
Oh.
a save, if you meet, I think you should succeed.
My math is bad though.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I got an 18. Because it's a wisdom saving throw,
Then
right?
it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I looked at intelligence. It's no.
Winnie will say, like, as it gets hit by you, and for its frightful presence, it actually doesn't like make any sound. It just looks directly at you.
Yeah, and
then,
I'm like, oh, crud.
there's this like emanation of darkness and evil that spreads out from it, like throughout the ship, for anyone who can see. And we'll say, Winnie, immediately you're brought back to when Terra Soul had taken over your mind, and you were unconscious, and that like very visceral fear.
Traumatic memories.
Yes.
I imagine she like blasted with that giant laser. It looks at her just like, sorry.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, no.
I'm gonna go back to bed now.
So you are
Nice
frightened for 1 minute, which
Draculus.
means that you cannot move in any direction toward the creature, and a frightened creature has disadvantage on all ability checks and attack rolls while the source of its fear is in line of sight. And after it casts Frightful Presence, it is then going to start just raking at the ship with its teeth and claws.
To be.
He's not the wood though. He's other various
He is
parts.
everything.
He is everything.
To be is life.
You see, like, the ship take some very serious damage, but mainly what you notice is this massive Dracolage has ripped out outside of the ship and slammed its hand into it, and you can see some of the undead now moving into the ship.
Ooh, not
And that would be just like above the living quarters.
Okay.
And now it is Dalvin's turn. You are blasted awake by one of your walls being ripped open by the massive claw of a Dracolich.
That's perfect.
So it's like you wake up to the first roar, and then as you're like getting your trousers on, then all of a sudden you don't have a wall, and the open air is like screaming into your bedroom, and there are some creatures crawling on that arm, but it's really big. So what do you do?
I'm jolted awake. I throw on my dagger belt.
Ooh, you going shirtless?
Huh? I think I always have like a constant robe
Okay.
thing going, situation.
Like a
He's a
gi or
never
whatever.
nude.
Yeah, yes. And
It's a monk thing.
my heart is racing right now.
IRL.
I am, yeah, in real life. I'm going to spend a key and do my Step of the Wind. I'm going to dash up the arm as far as I can.
Okay.
And Step of the Wind also allows me to disengage, so none of these guys get opportunity attacks on me.
Yeah, you're just running up an undead dragon's arm.
Dashing. And dash is double move, right?
Correct.
So I can I don't know how long the arm is, but I can run 90 feet if I dash. And if I need to jump, I have double jump distance with that.
You can get to the dragon's back if you want to.
Yeah.
Or like the head.
Yeah, I want to get to the shoulder, like to wherever the joint is.
Okay.
Yeah,
in the most like monk-like way, you spin around people you're juking and running, and you basically climb up these. It's slick and it's bones, but you have traveled all over the continent and been to so many different places that you know how to move on different terrain. You nimbly race up the arm of this creature.
That's actually better. I thought I was gonna have to jump on it. I thought I was gonna have to clear.
Oh, it's like
distance.
right there. Yeah, it's like here you go.
It's a great bridge. So how long is the arm? Like how much of my move distance did I have to use?
I'm gonna say, tell me where you want to go.
I want to go to the joint, to the shoulder. Of
Oh,
the arm.
100% you can get there. Yeah, I said you can get to the back or the head. So
Okay,
sure
cool.
the shoulder.
Do I still have like an action left? Do I have to dash?
A bonus action if you want, but like unless you bonus action to disengage.
So like I had to dash to get there?
Yes.
I had to go over 45 feet?
It's difficult terrain, so I think even if you dashed, you're only moving 40 feet.
Okay, gotcha. I see what you're saying. So yeah, so I would definitely draw the two daggers. I would draw my crystal dagger and my Winnie dagger as I run up the
Yes.
arm. Yeah. I'm dodging, I'm just weaving in and out of these monsters, these undead. I get to the joint and I'm going to take a stab with my Winnie dagger. And that is going to be
No.
what?
Did you roll a natural 20?
Dirty 20. It's 12 plus 8. So
Okay.
dirty 20.
You got me a little nervous because this is the last arm that the creature is holding onto the ship. And I was like, if you rolled a natural 20, you bust the arm off and you are going down with that dragon.
No, I can.
Yes.
I can
I
tie
got so nervous.
I can tie a rope on a kunai and try and throw the ship.
Okay.
That was my other plan.
So good roll. That definitely is a hit.
12, I think, lightning slashing damage because it's electric. Winnie's dagger is electric.
Yes. Yep.
And then,
Woogie woogie.
Yeah.
but then it also takes a 1d4 of lightning damage on top of that. So 2 more lightning damage. So
Okay.
14 lightning damage into the joint or the shoulder of this undead Dracolage.
So yeah, you slam your blade into this joint, and you can feel like the tendon basically start to like snap at different points underneath you, and the whole arm kind of shifts. Yeah, good job with your offhand. All
I'm
right,
still like shaking.
That was
Joan,
very good.
a lot has happened since you got on top of the deck.
Can we see Dalphin?
I love that you started all this and you're
Yeah,
looking.
'cause
Might
you're
be
up
able to
on
see
his-
the dagger, man.
Oh yeah. You see Dalphin run up on the arm.
Like a little tiny lightning bolt in the storm.
Yeah.
I'd like to use Channel Divinity Turn Undead.
What does that do?
As an action, I present my holy symbol and I speak a prayer censuring the undead. Each undead that I can see or hear within 30 feet of me must make a wisdom saving throw.
All of them?
Yeah.
You guys, we are so over.
If the creature
We're awesome.
If the creature
how we were
fails
before.
its saving throw, it is turned for 1 minute or until it takes any damage. A turned creature must spend its turns trying to move as far away from you as it can, and it
Jumps
can't.
off the boat.
It can't willingly move to a space within 30 feet of you. It also can't take reactions. For its action, it can only use the dash action or try to escape from an effect that prevents it from moving. If there's nowhere to move, the creature can use the dodge action. And starting at 5th level, when an undead fails its saving throw against your turn undead feature, the creature is instantly destroyed if its challenge rating is at or below a certain threshold, as shown in this table.
All right, what's the threshold?
Goodness.
1 or lower.
1 or lower, it just is done.
It gone. If it fails.
Okay, so what's your holy symbol?
My holy symbol is a book.
Of course
Any
it is.
particular book?
Well, I feel like now it's the book about the immortals.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you kind of like chose that to be your holy
Yeah.
symbol, and you.
Yeah, I would like to think that it's whatever book is most prevalent in my life. It's the one that I'm spending the most time
Yeah,
with.
yeah.
So therefore, it's the one I'm most attuned with. And
Okay.
right now,
Makes
it
sense.
would be the immortals book. And I do always have a book on me.
So Joan holds out her book, and emanating like a radiant light like bursts out from her, like it's almost like a. Whereas Winnie's lightning bolt was like harsh daylight, like blasts of energy. This is like warm, comforting light for anyone that's living. And then the swaths of undead that have climbed aboard the ship just start like just blowing away into dust.
They got Thanos. You Thanos
like,
them.
They just like whoosh, And Joan, you can feel like a presence with each of them, like an essence that was stuck inside the undead form. And you can feel like essence of peace, just like each time you hit one of them, like you're like doing them a favor. And Joan, when this hits the Dracolich, you can feel it break, but it does have a legendary action to resist.
That face.
So if it fails a saving throw, it can choose to succeed instead. However, I did critically fail.
Was that one roll for all of them, or did you?
No. I rolled like a 9 for the undead creatures that are climbing the board. I did not expect you to have like an AoE like that. So, Joan, the dragon now has your attention. Its eyes like kind of like rest upon you, and when you hit it, the same way you could feel all those different presences, like almost like thanking you for releasing them, you feel Justin.
Justin?
Basically the embodiment of the Red God, which the last you saw of him, he was eviscerated by Terra Soul and the Realm of Soul, having like the life sucked right out of him.
Yeah.
You can feel him almost pleading with you. There's some kind of internal struggle happening. I'm going to say that prones the dragon for the next round.
Okay.
Because he has resistance.
In the sky.
And prone doesn't mean that you're like falling. It just means you're, or I should say,
vulnerable to its
maybe
attack.
paralyzed is a better word. Just frozen, basically. I'll say like there's this internal conflict. Because there's a legendary resistance, technically, even though it critically failed.
Is there like a dazed?
You can still
something
resist,
like that?
I'm just going to say that it's stunned, basically. That's the right word.
But Joan, that was so cool.
A stunned creature is incapacitated, can't move, and can't speak, automatically fails strength or dexterity saving throws. Attack rolls against the creature have advantage.
So funny, I was reading through my spells trying to figure out what I was going to do, and I was like, who picked these spells? These are stupid spells. I can't do anything worthwhile. And then I was like, what's this thing? What's this channel divinity thing? Let me open the book and read it. Oh.
Pretty awesome.
Well, that's
pretty perfect.
And I think that's where we're going to end this.
Oh my goodness.
So we'll come back to the rest of this encounter next time. Thank you, everybody, for being on this adventure with us. It is picking up. And we will see you all in the next episode. As always, I'm your host and Dungeon Master, Joshua. Going around the table, we have...
Jones.
Delvin.
Winnie.
Relnor.
He's just standing at the door. Awesome. Okay, thanks, everybody.
Bye.